These photos change everything we know about why the Epstein files were not released a few weeks ago when there was a vote in the Senate. It shows Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican from Alaska, at a forum with Ghislaine Maxwell and her husband, Scott Borgeson. You may have missed this because it was on the same day that Charlie Kirk died, but Senator Murkowski was the deciding vote not to release the Epstein files. So we wanted to understand why she would vote against this. And we spent weeks finding out exactly what her connections were to Jeffrey Epstein. And what we found was a tangled web of connections in Alaska, the senator's home state. In fact, it all comes down to power and a series of meetings and events where they talked about the Arctic Circle and they lobbied and tried to expand it, which would obviously help Alaska and Ghislaine Maxwell's husband, who was doing a lot of business, maritime business in the Arctic Circle. There's also a connection to a wealthy Murkowski donor, Alice Rogoff, who just so happened to be Ghislaine Maxwell's friend and the owner of the Alaska Dispatch. So how Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein are connected to Murkowski just pretty much explains how Washington works and why these survivors have been waiting around for so many years for answers. And maybe this holds the key as to whether or not they'll finally get the answers. It certainly explains how insidious Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's connections were to power. You can check out my latest report at tarapalmieri.com, or you can go to the link in my bio where you can read this investigative piece on the Red Letter.